So welcome folks, this is your boy FlyIsland Guy, and we are back with another on-air Thunder video. Today we are doing an early morning flight from Edmonton International. Remember, that's where we landed last time. And today we are going to Vancouver International. So I'm real happy that showed up in the list of jobs. So today we are taking some equipment pallets and we are loaded to the gills. Our weight is about 4,500 pounds, and that's just cargo alone. So I'm hoping that we don't run into any issues with our fuel, because once again that margin of error for the fuel is a little less comfortable. It's a little under my level of comfort. Alright, so it's early morning today, so we are going to get the engine started. We are pretty much ready to go. Flight plan is already in, so let's just get in here, folks. So as usual, we will turn on our beacon. Don't forget to do that. And we'll go ignition. Let's start the right engine. Take a look at that from outside.
Your flight will be monitored until you land and shut down the engines.
Alright, so our right engine started. Let's go ahead and get the left engine started. And we'll turn on our right generator. Alright, so our left engine started a lot faster than the right one. Which is interesting. Alright. Alright, so both engines are started. Gonna turn on the pitot heat, and I'm just gonna turn on the window icing already because temperatures today in Edmonton are pretty cold. Looking at -7 degrees C. Pretty good visibility, but it's really windy outside. Sorry, it's very windy outside, and yeah, so we'll see how the takeoff goes, but everything else is already set. So we're getting an ignition warning. Let's turn these guys off, and we're getting an ITT warning as well. Not sure why though, but we'll see. Hopefully that'll go away.
Okay.
Alright, so we're pretty much ready to go. Let's go ahead and drop a notch of flaps. Today in Edmonton, we are going to be departing. Let's see. According to SimBrief, we'll be departing runway 30. So I'm just going to bring that up. On the gosh, sorry, I'm getting my sim link running. Okay, sorry about that. I'm looking at the wrong map. All right. Edmonton, there we go. Cool. Okay, so runway 30 is straight ahead of us. So let's head there now. So going to get all of our lights on. And we'll try not to hit this building. Was very close. All right. So if anybody is like me, I absolutely hate nighttime here in FS 2020 because I can't see a dang thing. Cannot see anything. I find it hard to move around the airports at night. They just seem to be really dark. So technically it's not actually nighttime. It's more so just really early morning. But yeah, I have no idea what's going on there. So we're just taxiing down to runway 30. Okay. When we get in the air, we'll take a look at the Vancouver weather. But from what I've seen, first glance, Vancouver weather's alright as well. So there should be no issues there. Not gonna lie though, when I first decided to do this this North American tour, I was pretty excited about it, but now I'm kind of like I sort of want to do something else now, and I'm just excited to get into a different plane, to be honest. So maybe we'll get a job that's going to take us to an interesting airport, but we'll see what happens. Okay, so here we are on runway 30. And I'm just going to go ahead and get lined up. And then alright. I just realized there was a bunch of stuff we haven't set yet. Alright, let's get our flight direct on. We are going up to 30,000 today. Alright, and we can turn on nav mode if we want. Alright, I think we are good to go. Let's get our landing lights on, taxi lights off, strobes on. Prop our VM to full. Arm my emergency lights. And let's go. I always look for around about 95 knots to rotate. So rotate.
Airborne time log.
Let's go gear up. So it's a little heavy today. But we're looking good. Alright. Let's pull those flaps up. Turn our yaw damper and arm the autopilot. Plane just nosedived just now. We turned it on. I had to get flight level change mode activated pretty quickly. We are good, we are climbing out. We are on track. So one thing, when I installed that UA light mod, I noticed that inside the cabin now, the lights flash inside as well, which is weird. But it is what it is. But as I said, this is a nice early morning flight, so we're gonna kick back, relax, and get some shut-eye. So if you look at our flight time, I did not check that before I left. According to SimBrief, one sec. So our trip time is an hour and 43 minutes. Then when they put in all the contingencies in there, we should have 3 hours and 13 minutes worth of fuel, but I know for sure I don't have that inside there. So we're taking a risk here. Alright, just bug up to 170 now. It's a little slow at 160 and not really comfortable with that. Not at this rate at least. impressive. Actually pretty impressive. I have the... Oh, let's turn his landing lights off. I actually have the floodlights turned on inside here for the captain only. And that was actually reflected on the outside of the aircraft, that's actually pretty cool. So if you go outside, you only see the pilot's face. That's pretty cool. Alright. So, landing lights off because we've crossed 10,000, and I'm just going to let the plane climb up to 30,000. If we take a look at the weather in Vancouver today, let's see what we're dealing with. So we're looking at a balmy 9 degrees, and visibility is 25 miles. And the ceiling is at 12,000 feet, and pretty much scattered at 4,000, 13,000, and 24,000. So, and the wind's at 16 knots. So it's a little breezy there as well, but for the most part, it looks like a good day for flying in Vancouver. Right now the winds are out of 280, so I've pre-selected, basically due to the issues we had last time, I pre-selected 26 left, so we're going to shoot the ILS approach for that. Yeah, that's where we're at, folks. So I am just going to step away for a bit, and when I catch you again, we'll be in cruise, and let you know what's going on. All right. So it's your boy FlyIsland Guy, and I am out. Peace. Alright, so welcome back, folks. We are at cruising altitude now. We've been flying for about 45 minutes or so. And it has been, well, for the past few minutes, it's been one hell of a flight. We've been getting pretty banged up here. Like, the turbulence has been crazy. Lost a few hundred feet in altitude, so looking forward to getting out of this choppy air. We could try to increase or decrease the altitude, but I don't know if that's going to make a whole lot of difference right now, but we're just working our way through in the meantime, putting our big boy pants on, and we'll see how things go. Alright, so while we're here, let's take a quick look at the Vancouver International approach plates. So we are heading in on runway 26 left, the ILS approach. It's pretty much straight in. I think we'll be coming more so from the east-northeast. We'll be approaching from that way, and we'll be heading towards this saved waypoint. So to be honest, we should arm our ILS before we actually get here, so that we can just capture it and come in. Or we should capture the localizer at least, and then come in. Glide slope kicks in at the Knox Up waypoint, and hopefully we should be all lined up by then. For the most part, nothing too crazy. Should be pretty decent. And It's a nice long runway, if I remember correctly. Yeah, we're looking at 10,000 feet. So for this tiny plane, that's way more than enough. So in the meantime, I'm just gonna try and hold on to my cookies as we get tossed around up here. And I will catch you guys when we are starting our descent into Vancouver. Woof. Alright. It shouldn't be too long though. I'm pretty sure at this point we are... Let's go up to the cockpit. So we're half an hour away from our next waypoint. And then from there things should start to happen fairly quickly, I think. This is where I'm going to actually start my descent. Once we reach this merit waypoint. So I'm just looking forward to getting out of this turbulence. You know what I mean? Fuel wise, we are looking alright for now. I'm not too stressed out about it, but I still think that we're gonna probably get dinged for not having enough reserve fuel when we get in. But we shall see what happens. Alright? So we'll be back soon. When we're on descent, and I'll talk to you then. Alrighty, and welcome back. As you can see, we're a little lower now. We've started our descent into Vancouver. We're at 11,600 feet, descending to 3,000, and right now I'm just worried about crashing into one of these many mountains that are surrounding us. It's been a pretty nasty turbulent flight for the most part. So I'm just looking forward to getting out from over these mountains, because they've been causing a hell of a lot of problems as far as flying is concerned. So I'm just keeping an eye on things. I may have to increase my altitude or ease off my descent. For a while there, just until we get over these mountains in front of us. Not really working with VNav, so gotta keep on top of it. But we have everything programmed in already. Our ILS approach is, well, our ILS frequencies are locked and loaded and ready to go. If we go ahead and check the weather at Vancouver right now, we're looking at 9 degrees C with the wind still out of 280 at 17 knots, and our visibility is about 21 nautical miles. Scatter clouds, high ceilings, so no real issues at this point. Totally forgot to turn my landing lights on. Whew. Didn't get dinged for it, so that's good. We are flying pretty low right now, a little uncomfortably low for me. So I'm going to just decrease our rate of descent just for a few minutes. Because we're actually coming right in between two mountains right now. Well, we definitely got a mountain ridge like right in front of us that I'm afraid if we don't arrest our descent rate, we're gonna slam into it. But it's pretty funny though. We took off at about 8 o'clock in the morning in the dark. Well, not in the dark, but kind of in this sort of light. And it has not changed the whole time we've been flying. Which makes sense. I mean, we're heading back to the west coast. So it would make sense that, you know, it's not going to get bright right away since we're basically going back. Alright, so it looks like the terrain is going to flatten out in front of us soon. I'm just sort of looking at our topography map on the PFD. All right, let's take a look outside. Nice sweet shot there with the moonlight. So pretty much we're 13 nautical miles outside of Saved, which is the initial approach fix for the ILS approach. So what we'll do is we will arm our ILS just before we get to that waypoint. So it's been a while since we've actually done an ILS approach, so I'll just go through the steps. Like last time, essentially all we really need to do in the King Air, when you want to arm the ILS, or make sure you have your frequency set already. We already put our frequency in, which was 110.7. And then all you need to do is just change the source. And when you've tuned your ILS, you should have an option in here called Loc, L-O-C, for a localizer. And you just set it to that source, and normally it'll turn towards that. It'll turn towards the localizer for you. All right. So you see our glide slope, just armed. These are the runways in front of us, off in the distance. Okay. 6 nautical miles out. Gonna slow down to 200, and I'm just gonna drop a notch of flap. Alright. So you can go ahead and arm the localizer now. So we'll just switch our CDI source to Loc 1. And there we go. So it's basically going to automatically line us up on the localizer. And once we're fully established on the localizer, we will dump our landing gear and flaps and hopefully have a smooth landing. So what we're going to be watching for is this needle right here. I'm going to see if once this needle starts inching its way towards the middle. That's where you know it's lining up. So it's just going to start slowly inching its way towards the middle. And what we're going to want to see is once this needle is pointing straight up, this guy should be right in the middle and lined up. That's when you know you're good to go on the localizer. I'm also going to go ahead and just arm the approach as well. As you see the snowflake, or whatever you call it, this little diamond, the glide slope diamond is now it's moving down slowly. And once it hits the middle, it should capture the glide slope as well. And you can see now, this line is almost lined up. So everything's looking good. There we go. Just capture the glide slope.
Landing here.
Oop. Damn it. Alright, so I just dinged myself. It's going too fast when I load the landing gear, which is not good. Which kind of sucks. There goes my safety bonus. At this point, I'm just trying to slow down really. And full flap is at 158. This is a beautiful, beautiful night landing here. Loving what I see. As I said before, I don't do night landings very often. Not a huge fan of it, but because we're kind of landing in the city, it's looking pretty good. Just waiting to slow down a little more, and then I'll go full flaps, but It's not really slowing down enough for me to do it. And we're at 800 feet now. Alright. Just went full flaps. So we're dumping speed now.
Wind 300 at 6 knots.
Okay.
500.
Getting a little bumpy. We'll go yaw damper and autopilot off. I'm just gonna hand fly it down. Alright. Kill the throttles.
Landing time log.
Reverse thrust is active. And let's aim for this next turn off here. There we go. Alright. Flaps up. Ah, no. Sorry. Just trying to turn my landing lights off. There we go. Alright, flaps all the way up. Forgot to turn my stirrups off as well. There's a lot of grass here. That's weird. Stirrups are off. Since the other little planes are parked around here, I'm gonna park here as well. Alright. Parking brake on. Bring our props down, and I will turn the floodlights up so you can see what we're doing. Cool. All of our lights could go off except for the nav lights. And
Engine off time logged. Flight is finished. It has been monitored by OnAir.
awesome. Cool. We are good to go. Alright. We have that gear over speed. So I'm just looking at this here. We have the gear over speed that messed up our reputation. Outside of that, everything else looked alright, and we got a bonus for the night landing as well. But it says that we had a delay penalty again. Alright, but I mean, regardless, we got paid for the job. Let's see, $74,000. That was our expenses for the trip. I think it's because this was a last minute flight, so I think I got to make sure that when I pick up a last minute flight that I pick it up like right when I'm about to fly. But that's about it though. We are good to go. Let's just switch everything off. Hope you guys enjoyed the flight. You definitely missed a lot of the turbulence, but man, it was crazy. That whole flight, we were getting shaken around, and I'm actually really glad that we weren't carrying fragile cargo, because we would have definitely been screwed over. Anyway, that's it for me. I will catch you guys on the next flight. We should be going down to the States somewhere. I don't know where, because this is as far as I wanted to go in Canada. In fact, this is pretty much as far as you can go on the West Coast. So let's see where our adventures take us next time. As I said, I hope you guys enjoy the flight. This is your boy FlyIsland Guy, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.